Hello everyone, this is Mr. Yarbrough here to teach you a little bit about recording in Garageband. When using Macs, whether old or new, usually the applications appear at the bottom of the screen. Sometimes they can appear on the left side, it's all depending on where you set it. The software we're going to be using today is Garageband. You click it, and open it up. Give it a moment to initialize. Now, most of them will open up the same way, but just depending on the way it may have been closed out, yours may appear differently. All right, mine already opened up to a little project that I may have started working on. So what I'm going to do, we're going to exit out of this. When you're ready to create something new, just go to File, as I just did, click New. If it asks you to save what you just did, say no, and it did not. All right, most of the time when you're creating something new, I suggest making sure it's selected on New Project is selected, and the piano is selected as well. You can feel free on other videos we may experiment and show electrical guitar, voice, loops, and the other options it has. So once you selected one of them, in this case we'll do piano, click choose. Once you click choose, it will ask you to name it something. As you see, mine will just be called My Song 6, and it also gives you the option to option in terms of where to place it once it is saved. We're going to just stay in the GarageBand folder. Down here, it also gives you, if you have an idea of what the tempo you want it to be at is, you can slide it and you see the tempo changes. BPM stands for beats per minute. All right. Time signature, as you know, the top number tells you how many beats are in each bar. We've already discussed the 4/4 time signature. We'll go over some of these other time signatures listed as you see. Have 2/2, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, and several others. 9/8, 12/8 are popular. 6/8 are popular as well. All right. The key. Remember that music has two main parts: rhythm and pitch. The rhythm aspect is controlled by tempo, the signature, the time signature, and BPMs. When you're talking about the pitch, that has to do with where you see key at. You might switch it to D flat. There are 12 different notes in a chromatic scale. There are 12 notes on the piano primarily that scales can be built off of. And they have different tonalities, which we discuss in class. I may make additional videos discuss that music theory aspect as well. You can have major, which, for lack of a better word, sounds kind of happy or bright, and minor has more of a darker sound. Some say it sounds sad or has more, just a different type of vibe about it. All right, we're going to just kind of leave most of the settings like they are, kind of generic. Click Create. Now, once you click Create, as you see on your left side, a piano appears. All right. In order to hear sound without any external MIDI device or keyboard hooked up to your laptop or desktop, what you need to do is click on Window and then scroll down to Musical Typing. What this does is it turns your laptop keyboard into a music keyboard. Let's turn this sound up as much as possible. All right. Now that is just purely the sound coming off of the speakers of my laptop. Maybe by the next video or so I'll have bigger speakers hooked up to have more of a full sound and richer tone. But this will do for right now. So I'm playing the A button on the laptop and it turns into C on the piano. S on the laptop. As you see, it's all on the same line. And above it are the black keys, all right? There are other aspects of this. You have the pitch bend. Feel free to play around with that. Let's see if I press a note. Let me see. I haven't done these in a while. So I had to play around with pitch bend to see how to use it with that. Modulation, it has modulation. Sustain. One thing that you will find useful is the octave. So let's say we're playing this note. When you play, take it an octave down, press the minus button and take it octave down, notice that the blue area shifted to the left. And it's the same note, but at a lower pitch, a pitch that is exactly 12 notes below. Or in this case, when you're talking about a major or minor scale, it is 8 notes, hence the word octave, oct, being the root of that octave. So I take it back up to the normal area. Notice how this blue area will shift. I'm going to push the plus, took me back, same note. C, 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 taking it down. C, 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 C. Excuse my ugly tone there, folks. Now that we understand that, you can kind of move that to the side or just kind of out of the way somewhere. With one hand, you can hold your mouse down, and the right hand you can move around. Some people can do it with one hand, hold with one finger, and move around with the other finger. Whatever is your preference. Now, the first thing we'll do is play around with recording. In order to record, first make sure your track is armed. Follow my mouse. Now, notice my mouse is over this red dot. It's red, selected red already. I'm going to click it so it can deselect. And notice my piano went gray. That means you will not be able to hear anything. I'm pressing my laptop keys, but nothing is coming out. All right, I'm going to arm it again. And now I can play it. The notes are brightened and highlighted, and I can hear everything. Now I'm ready to record. So you make sure your track is armed. The track is the instrument, the software instrument that you have selected. Like in this case, it's grand piano. We're making sure the track is armed. Press the record button. That tick you hear is called a metronome. It keeps you on beat. I'm going to play around. It'll start recording. Notice little dots coming up where I play. I'm going to stop it. Once you stop it, it turns to a green color. While recording, it will show red. Now, I'm going to click and hold this red line with the triangle, white triangle at the top. This is called the cursor. You can move this wherever you want to. Wherever you move this is where the music will start to play or begin to record. We're going to move it to the beginning of what we just recorded. And I want to push play. You can push play with this button right here down at the bottom, or you can press the space bar on your laptop. Notice. Now, for some of you, your metronome, you may not hear a metronome, okay? We'll address the metronome possibly on another video, but on here, you can actually shut that down. Where it says control, my metronome is selected. If you don't want it on while you're recording, you can just click it, and you see it's playing without the metronome. And it will also record without the metronome. Like so. I didn't mean to shift anything. Sorry about that, folks. It will also record. I'm going to press the record button. And as you can see, the metronome, where you heard the tick, 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 tick before, you don't hear it anymore. You don't hear it during recording, and you don't hear it during playback. All right. One more thing I will go ahead and show you on this first video is how to change your sound. There are a couple ways you can change your sound. You can double click on the picture of the sound listed in the track, like so. And to the right side, your things will change. So another way to do it, if you press on the blue eye in the middle, it will make the instruments appear and disappear. Now I'm going to go back. It's not, if your instruments aren't listed to the right. Now what I was talking about clicking the picture, I'm going to do that now. You will see it pop up as you see. So that's one way, and the other way is to click the eye, the blue eye, the letter I with the circle. Now the eye that looks like a human eye, those are loops, which we will delve more into later. But first, we're going to focus on being able to create music yourself. These are pre-made loops, patterns that were created by someone else. And over to the right, this multimedia button has different things that might already be on your computer recorded. All right. So we're going to focus on the letter I in the middle for instruments, so we can change instruments. Now, right now, it is on piano, but let's change it to, let's click on horns. And we'll click on pop horn. You can record with the sound, and even if you've already, I recorded in piano, but once I change the sound, it will play back in the new instrument sound, as you can see. So you can record all your different sounds that you want in one thing and change them later. That is the cool thing about recording on this software, as well as probably others as well. Now, one thing, all of my sounds are downloaded, but if you have a circle with the arrow listed, like for instance, I have this alto sax, I can hear mine, but if you have a circle with an arrow kind of on the right side of it, that means that instrument needs to be downloaded. And so it may take a few, you may have to do a software update or allow your computer to download. It comes naturally with a certain amount of instruments, but to unlock all the instruments and sounds that are on the software, you're going to have to download those particular sounds or instruments. All right. So once you're finished recording and doing what you're going to do, when you want to close out, you can save what you have or don't save. Shortcut for save is Command S. When you do Command S, you'll see the blue file button. I'll do it again. It'll turn that. Another way to save without the normal way to save is just to press this, or save as to switch the name if you want. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and shut this down. In order to quit, you scroll down. Now, if you notice, look over here where it has a funny looking symbol and a Q. That funny looking symbol is a command sign. All right. And whenever you see stuff like this on the right side of words, those are usually shortcuts to do that. So instead of clicking on GarageBand and scrolling all the way down with my mouse, a shortcut would be to press Command Q on the actual laptop. It will save you, it might not seem like that much of a time difference, but it will save you anywhere from 5 to 8 seconds, which can add up when you're working on a project and you become real good and want to move very, very fast like I do. All right. So I'm going to press the shortcut on my laptop. As you see, it just shut down. All right, folks. Well, this concludes our introduction to GarageBand. This is an old version of GarageBand, by the way. Let me see if I can find out what version it is. I'm using laptops that are at least 15 to 20 years old, trying to be resourceful and a good steward of what we've been blessed with here. If it's not broken, it can be used by someone. Oh, the copyright on this one dates back to 2002, 2009, so these are super old. The date that I am recording this is, I think it is August the 14th. Let me see. Oh, this date is wrong right here. Let me look at my phone. August 14th, 2025. So these laptops are over probably, yeah, like I said, over 15, 20 or more years old. So that's one of the cool things about Macs. In my opinion, they're better suited for audio and visual creating. They're less susceptible to laptops, meaning that less susceptible to viruses, meaning they're less likely, in my opinion, that I've noticed. If you operate them properly and know how to take care of it, they last longer than PCs, in my humble opinion. Well, folks, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this. Make sure you like this and share it to others that you think want to know the information. And can't wait to see you in class, guys. Peace and blessings to all.